Neil and Julian deduced that Kendra had been the one to poison Alexis after blaming her for Kiefer's death. Neil wanted to call the cops, but Julian wanted to make sure that Alexis was safe first. Christina arrived and asked about Alexis, having heard from Molly that Alexis had disappeared. Neil and Julian explained about Kendra Bauer, who Christina had never met while dating Kiefer. Julian wondered if Alexis still had the tracking app on her phone. Christina retrieved her phone and managed to find Alexis's location. "Now we can call the cops," Julian told Neil, and Neil said that he would call from the car. Neil promised that Alexis would be back, and he and Julian ran out of the hospital. In bed, Curtis and Jordan couldn't believe it was already Thanksgiving, and they were happy to be celebrating their first anniversary. Curtis handed her a card for their paper anniversary, and she opened it to find their wedding vows. They shared a kiss, happy to have made it through the challenges of the last year. He promised to get her to an island beach for their honeymoon. Just then, Jordan's phone went off, and she answered it. She listened for a few moments and stated that she was on her way. At the hospital, Willow read through a pamphlet about being a first-time mom, and she thought about her conversation with Sasha about being pregnant. Chase entered and handed her a container with a turkey sandwich. She hugged him, and he wondered if she was all right. She replied that she was feeling emotional after seeing how sick some of the kids at the hospital's Thanksgiving celebration were. Chase knew that she would be a terrific mother one day, and she echoed the sentiment about him as a father. He enjoyed being an uncle and worried that he would be a pushover as a father. Just then, Chase's phone went off, and he answered it to the PCPD. He said that he would be on his way and hung up. Willow told him to be careful, and he left. Willow took her phone out and called Sasha about her situation. She told Sasha where she was and put the phone down after Sasha hung up the phone. A short while later, Willow was reading the pamphlet when Sasha arrived. Willow called herself a coward, which Sasha refuted, but Willow thought that having a baby at that point in her and Chase's relationship would be a disaster. Sasha took Willow's hand and insisted that she had more support than she knew. Sasha handed a pregnancy test to Willow and instructed her to take it so she could know for sure. If Willow was pregnant, Sasha reasoned that the baby's father was a good man who would rearrange his life to make things work. Willow advised Sasha not to leave, and Willow walked off to take the test. Willow returned a short while later, and Sasha asked what the results of the test were. Carly divulged to Sunny that the kids were asleep, and Dev and Jocelyn had gone out with friends. Sunny was happy to be alone with Carly, but the doorbell interrupted them. Carly assumed it was Brad and Lucas, but she opened the door to Jax. She revealed that he'd just missed Jocelyn, but she invited him in for pie and coffee. She left the room to get the dessert, and Sunny revealed that Carly had told him the whole story. He continued that Jax's secret was safe with Sunny just like Dev's secret was safe with Jax. "What do you think you know?" Jax asked. Sunny replied that he knew that Jax didn't want Jocelyn to live with Jax because of a houseguest. Carly returned and quickly told Sunny that Jax's personal life was none of their business. Sunny countered that it was their business because it impacted Jocelyn. Sunny's phone rang, and he answered it to Christina. She told him that she was fine, but she was at the hospital and needed to see him. He promised to be right there and hung up. He relayed the conversation to Carly and left. Carly warned Jax against antagonizing Sunny, especially when Jax had a huge secret. She believed that Sunny would turn Nicholas in if Sunny found out about him, but Jax disagreed, since Nicholas was Spencer's father. Carly countered that Sunny would love to have Jax deported again and not get blamed for it. She stated that Jocelyn needed Jax in Port Charles, and he would be ripping apart Jocelyn's life and family. She urged him to wrap things up with Nicholas soon, whether he turned Nicholas in or kicked him out. "Get it over with," she concluded. As Kendra drove toward Alexis, Lucas yelled that the brakes weren't working, and they crashed right into Kendra's car. Moments later, Alexis began to move and looked at the wreckage around her. She crawled to Kendra's car and was able to get to her feet, leaning against it. She went to the driver's side of the car and felt for Kendra's pulse. Kendra suddenly opened her eyes and grabbed Alexis's wrist. "It isn't over," Kendra muttered, and she passed out. Alexis saw a car approaching and flagged it down, and it happened to be Neil and Julian. Julian checked on Kendra as Alexis told Neil the entire story. Julian realized that Kendra had no pulse, and Neil went to call an ambulance. Julian assured Alexis that everything was over, and he asked what had happened. When Alexis was done telling her story, he figured that he should check on the people in the other car. Neil returned to Alexis as the ambulance approached. A short while later, Chase arrived when Neil was in the middle of explaining to the EMTs what had happened to Alexis. Neil told Chase that he could take statements at the hospital, as Alexis needed to get checked out. He informed Chase that Kendra appeared to be dead, but he wasn't sure about the people in the other car. Neil helped Alexis to the ambulance, and Chase and an EMT went to check on Kendra. They confirmed that she was dead. Jordan arrived, Chase updated her, and she asked about the people in the other car. Julian checked out the car and noticed an unconscious Brad in the passenger seat. "Sorry, Brad, you forced my hand," Julian muttered. He was glad that Brad had been able to save Alexis. He shined a flashlight in the car and caught sight of an unconscious Lucas in the driver's seat. He yelled that Lucas wasn't supposed to have been in the car, and he tried to break the window open to wake Lucas up. He ran to Jordan and begged her to get Lucas out of the car. Later, Jordan looked around the crime scene with an officer as another officer put up crime scene tape. Considering the angle of impact and the damage, she knew that Lucas had been going fast until he'd T-boned Kendra. She wondered why there were no skid marks on the road. Sunny found Christina at the hospital, and she told Sunny the entire story. She started with Alexis accidentally hitting and killing Kiefer, and concluded with Neil and Julian running off to find Alexis. Christina confessed that she believed Kendra had decided to go after Alexis after so much time because of the lie in Christina's Dawn of Day pledge. Sunny advised Christina that she could regret a lie, but she couldn't control the actions of anyone else, so it wasn't her fault. Alexis arrived in a wheelchair being pushed by Neil, and she assured Christina that Kendra was dead. Christina hugged her mother, and she expressed how sorry she was for Kendra going after Alexis. Alexis agreed with Sunny's sentiments and insisted that it hadn't been Christina's fault. Neil wanted to get Alexis checked in, so he wheeled her away. Christina thanked Sunny for keeping her company, embraced him, and followed Alexis and Neil. Curtis arrived at the hospital and asked Sunny how Alexis was doing. Sunny revealed that she would be all right, and Curtis promised to let Jordan know. Curtis wanted advice from Sunny, and he asked how he and Carly made their relationship work so well. Sunny admitted that, after so many years, the relationship was still a work in progress. He added that they always had each other's backs and that communication and not keeping secrets were important. He believed that secrets, no matter what the motive was for keeping them, always created distance. In an exam room with Christina and Neil, Alexis joked that she'd thought she was done with the hospital. Christina apologized again, but Alexis assured her that it was over. Christina thought that they were due for a vacation, but just not a road trip. Alexis wanted to know who the people in the other car had been and if they were all right, as they'd saved her life. Julian arrived at the hospital and demanded that Chase tell him what room Lucas was in. Chase revealed that Lucas was still in surgery, and Brad was in a trauma room. Julian was more concerned with his son, and Chase divulged that most of the damage had been on the driver's side of the car. Chase promised to get to the bottom of the accident, as it had been the only thing to save Alexis's life. The latest General Hospital spoilers for the week of December 2nd suggest that there will be appearances by plenty of rarely seen Port Charles residents. There are rumors that someone may be leaving the canvas as well, but so far, that one appears to mostly be speculation. Hover over the keyword to read more about the topic without leaving this page. According to Shino's Soaps, viewers will see a bit of Olivia Falconeri during Monday's show. General Hospital spoilers tease that she will be feeling optimistic in some sense, and some viewers will likely wonder once again if this could be a hint about her son Dante Falconeri perhaps reappearing in Port Charles soon. Christina Corinthos Davis hasn't been seen in quite some time, and General Hospital spoilers reveal that this is about to change. Viewers will see actress Lexi Ainsworth return during Tuesday's show, and she'll be getting some reassurance from her dad Sonny Corinthos. Bobby Spencer will be seen midweek, and General Hospital spoilers indicate that she will have awful news to share. Fans suspect that this will be related to a bad car accident involving Brad Cooper and Lucas Jones, which is likely due to Julian Jerome's move to tinker with the brakes on Brad's car. There is more with Kendra Lennon on the way as her battle with Alexis Davis continues. The last that viewers saw, Alexis had come to realize who Kendra really was, and Kendra had knocked Alexis out and thrown her in the back seat of her car. Wally Kurth's Ned Quartermain will be involved in a discussion with Jason Morgan toward the end of the week, and there is probably chaos involving his newly returned daughter Brooke Lynn Ashton this week, too. Dr. Andre Maddox is expected to be seen working with Franco Baldwin on the memory swap procedure. In addition, General Hospital spoilers suggest that Robert Scorpio will be popping up this week, too. He will surely have some opinions to share regarding Hayden Barnes' sudden departure and her decision to leave Violet Finn behind. Soap Central notes that Monica Quartermain and Epiphany Johnson will be seen in scenes together this week, too. Fans are always thrilled to see Sonia Eddy's Epiphany incorporated into the action in Port Charles, so these should be some great moments. Chloe Lanier will be back as Nell Benson this week as well. She will be getting a new roommate, and General Hospital spoilers hint that this will lead to some tense moments. Of course, viewers will also be anxious to see more of what Nell has in store regarding her partnership with lawyer Martin Gray and her apparent marriage that fans suspect was to Shiloh Archer. As for departures, General Hospital spoilers have hinted that someone may perish in this upcoming accident. Fans have speculated that Kendra and Alexis may end up involved in what seems likely to be a horrible wreck involving Lucas and Brad, and if so, Kendra would be the most obvious choice for being killed off. Alexis knows why Kendra has been targeting her, and there is no real reason to keep her around much longer. However, it's possible that the show will shake things up by going a more shocking route. General Hospital spoilers indicate that the week of December 2nd will be jam-packed with major developments. Plenty of rarely seen characters will see some action in the days ahead, and fans will not want to miss the chaos that's on the way.